Bring in Senator Ed Markey, standing by. He's a Democrat from Massachusetts. Senator, I don't know how briefed you are on these two breaking stories. The New York Times reporting that Donald Trump told Sergei Kislyak and Lavrov in his office that James Comey's a nut job and that firing him has relieved a lot of pressure, and the White House not pushing back on that reporting. What's your take on this?
Well, these are two seismic revelations. This is an inflection point in the entire Russia collusion investigation. It makes it very clear that what Donald Trump was trying to do was to end the Russian investigation. It had nothing to do with Hillary Clinton's emails. And the fact that the law enforcement officials are now reaching into the White House as part of its investigation means that now the question of what did the president know and when did he know it about the Russian relationship with his campaign, with his transition team, and with his administration are now going to be the key questions that must be answered by the president himself and all of the officials that were part of his campaign and transition team, so that the American people can know whether or not we actually had an attempt by the Russians to compromise our elections, and whether or not we are now in and beginning a constitutional crisis in the United States of America.
Let me tell you, Senator Bob Casey's just tweeted, if there was any question as to why Comey was really fired, Donald Trump just answered it. As I said, Nixonian. Senator, this is an important deal, because I'm not quite sure if the president did fire James Comey because he was either a nut job or because he needed to relieve pressure on the Russian investigation, why the people he would choose to would be the Russian ambassador and the Russian foreign minister. So the whole thing seems very, very strange. But what is your role? What are the members of Congress to do about this information?
Well, again, this escalates this to yet another level. We have to make sure that Bob Mueller gets all of the resources he needs as part of this investigation to get to every single part of this story, so the American people get all of the information which they need. And we have to further intensify our congressional investigations to ensure that we get all of the information about anything in the counterintelligence area that the Russians were conducting during that campaign. All of this now becomes absolutely clear to be something that the American people have to have in order to make a decision about this president and the election that got him elected. Right now, the president has told the Russians more about our secrets with ISIS, the Russians more about why he fired James Comey than he has actually told the American people themselves.
A colleague of mine just texted me, Senator, that Donald Trump has called Kim Jong-un of North Korea a smart cookie and called James Comey a nut job. Senator Ed Markey, good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.